Where the regulations were followed or weren't followed?
The regulations weren't being followed, and you had to come in and make sure that everything was in compliance.
Depending on what the patient's injuries were, we would look at the order sheets, and if a student was not following the proper instructions, let's say I was a second-year student and a first-year student was joining me, and an example, if a person had a neck injury and there's a placement of a neck brace that the exam is not completed until the neck brace is either removed or you have consultation from the ordering physician to complete the exam.
Okay, let's see. And how many teams did you work with in general?
How many teams did I work with in general? I worked with um, a group of 6 or 12 students.
Okay. Okay. And did you have to train any team members at any of the clinical radiology roles?
Did I have to train any team members? Yeah, first years we would train them with respects to the procedures, safety, and following all the proper guidelines and making sure that all the measurements were used to achieve the proper safety measurements and get the proper results that they would need with respects for the radiologists. Yeah.
And I assume that you also had to do frequent documentation and reporting, right?
Yes.
Okay. And can you think of any other accomplishment in your clinical radiology roles as it relates to disaster response?
As it relates to disaster response, yes. We had firsthand experience dealing with traumatic injuries, assisting the physician, whether it was taking emergency x-rays or responding to emergency situations where a patient would code, or if somebody needed CPR, that the proper setup and airway passages were used, like a ambu bag, and making sure that the patient's laying on the ground, their breathing pathways opened, and that the proper setup is done for CPR procedures.
Okay. So that's that. And uh, would you like to add anything else, or can I move on to the next experience?
You can move on.
Okay, so can you talk about your role, or can you talk about the help that you gave to students with respect to their studies and their fee payments as a teaching assistant?
As a teaching assistant, what year was that, or what time frame?
It says that you were teaching assistant at Irvine Valley College from 2002 to 2005.
2002, 2005. Yes, I would assist with setup of tutoring sessions, finding proper materials, getting them set up with the right room and access and department with respects to their studies, and tutoring information needed for each student.
Okay, perfect. And in your resume, it also says that you help them track their fee payment deadlines.
It says what? I'm sorry?
It says that you help them track their fee payment deadlines.
Fee payments and deadlines for what exactly?
The deadlines for their fee payments, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know what that's for, so I'm not sure.
Okay.
Let me look it up here in the email that you sent. Yes, that's for tuition, setting them up to make sure that they meet their tuition and other fees, and what's called if they had any other questions.
See. Okay. And would you like to add anything else to this experience?
No, that should be it.
And then can you talk about your duties with respect to the seminars that you hosted as a financial advisor assistant?
Financial advisor assistant. No, everything is already there that's needed.
Oh, okay. And by the way, did you volunteer to host these seminars, or was this a part of your duties?
Which
At Morgan Stanley?
mhm. It was mainly volunteer work.
Okay, that's great. And
Mhm.
that's that. And so moving on to your education section, can you mention the major of your bachelor's degree?
Major what? I'm sorry.
What was the major for your bachelor's degree?
Social science, humanities, and minor in criminal justice.
I see. And what about the major for your associate's degree at Irvine Valley College?
General studies.
Okay, perfect. And then you mentioned that you took CPR training, right? Did you take any
Yeah.
other trainings or certifications with respect
Uh,
to event management?
yeah.
Go ahead.
CPR, first aid, and event training.
Okay.
And then
And
also, what was it? There was. He said the gentleman at Islamic Relief said add uh, yes, some sort of training. Let me see. Let me find that in the job description.
you can email me the official name of the certifications if you like after the call.
Opportunities. I think I got it already. It's right here. Um, I believe it was not ADP, but Salesforce training.
Oh, I see.
Salesforce
Okay.
internet training. Internet training logs. So.
And besides Salesforce and Microsoft Office, can you think of any other software or technologies that you may have used for event management?
Excel, spreadsheets, PowerPoint, um, Internet Explorer, emails, Outlook.
Okay. And if I send you, or would you be able to send me the months and years for each or for your experiences and each of your certifications after the call?
Yeah, I can send those over.
Okay, thank you. I'll be sure to remind you after the call.
Okay.
And finally, Sohel, can you please mention your top three soft skills?
Top three what skills? I'm sorry.
Top three soft skills, whether they be communication, time management, teamwork, any skills like that.
Um, 1 second. Time management and what skills were the other ones?
Any soft skills like organization, communication, multitasking, teamwork,
Yeah, yeah,
and
multitasking, teamwork, and what was it? Time management.
okay, great.